Okay, we are recording. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. So, those of you from Missouri, do you know who wrote that song, Hey, Mr. Spaceman? It was the Byrds, and that man is buried in, I think, in an unmarked grave in Springfield, Missouri. And I can't remember, Gene Clark. Gene Clark is from Missouri.
Unmarked grave.
I think, yeah. That's what my hillbilly brother told me.
Hmm.
And if it comes from my hillbilly brother, you know it's
Gotta
true.
be true.
All right, all right. Well, good to see everybody. Wow, it's big, big, big. So hopefully we'll get to some readings. So I'm just going to say a blanket hello to everyone. One of the things that, so that this month we've all we're kind of getting shaken up like this rattle, and I'm feeling like we're really being stepped up, being called upon to step up, and um, some of us are going, we didn't sign up for this, and then so that's what I want to go up to ask our Galactic Council. What is it? Did we really have a time shift? Is this really what we're here for? Can you give us some direction as to what the next steps in our evolution, our ascension as light workers, whatever that means? How do we navigate these times when we're in so much of, I feel like I'm being pulled into calmness and chaos at the same time. And so I thought it'd be a good idea just to drop in there. I went and did, I was doing a meditation, and a new guide popped into my awareness. And when I was focusing on this space journey, and I had a feel to do, and this is kind of embarrassing a little bit to say because I don't talk about this stuff a lot. But on Sunday with Spirit, I did talk about the fear that everyone seems to have about jumping into doing something really new. And I was listening to a group of channelers who are down in San Diego, and they were all talking, I think every single one of them talked about the fear that they had before they went in and did a channeling session. Are you making it up? Are you not making it up? And all this stuff. So the first time that I heard light language, I thought it was kind of really weird and goofy. And then I found myself walking around and trying to drop into a meditative state, and I found myself saying light language. And I'm going, you don't know what you're saying. You're making all this stuff up. And I go, yeah, but it's fun. I'm going to keep doing it. And it did drop me into a space where I could channel more and talk more freely without really knowing what I was saying. So it was important for me to have a microphone nearby. So long story short, I got into, I was asking my guides, help me out with this membership meeting. Where are we going to go with this? And the light language started, and it was repeating itself. And I went, hey, okay, so I know I'm sensing this new guide. Why are you repeating these phrases twice? And what I heard was, because you weren't listening And so we have to say it a second time. Pay attention. And he didn't say it that snarkily. He was very nice. And so I thought that that was an interesting comment, that we're not paying attention enough. And then I should have asked, to what? But I didn't. I didn't follow through with the question. So, but with this, I'm looking at my notes here. He was saying that this, in order to jump through this veil that we're going to go through, sometimes it's good to drop out of the physical in such a way that it's easier for us to go through that veil. If you hear about Stephen Greer's CE5 contact, he has a lot of music and sounds and chit-chat and electronic noise to bring in the galactic beams. We can do that. We could do that in our own way through light language, is what the message that I was getting with this. And in this, he was talking a little bit about fear. And I asked him, so I said, a lot of us will have fear when they meet Mr. Spaceman. And I love that song, and I love the imagery that they gave with the song, because clearly this has been going on for a long, long time, you know, and so people are not, we're trying to be more accepting and making contact. And how that is for each of us is going to be different. Will we actually see writing our name on a window? Well, I wouldn't rule it out, but I wouldn't say, yes, that's the sign that you were visited. But maybe it's the synchronistic moments that keep repeating itself for us to pay attention. And again, I remind myself, when the synchronistic moments happen, pay attention to what we're thinking of at that time. So my guide showed me, he was talking about fear and this journey that we're going to go on. And he said, you know, a lot of times when we meet our galactic friends, we're really scared. I met, the first time I actually saw a mantis being, which was in my hallway. It scared the crap out of me. And I go, what is that? Peering in my bedroom. And I said, go away, you're scaring me. And it went away. And I talk about this on Dr. Gale's show. And it didn't come back for 2 years. And then when I was doing my morning meditation, it actually did show up. And I'm trying to remember, did I actually see it? Did I feel it? Did I know it? And I can't really describe it, but it was definitely there. And it did take my breath away a little bit. And so that fear that we experience is, I personally believe that they're not here when we're calling in our galactic guides of love and light, that they're not here to scare us, but they don't wear a watch. And so when they take a break from us and say, I'll be back in a second or two, when you calm down, their second or two may be years. So, wow, what was that? Anyway, I don't know what that was, but it sounded like it was behind me. Okay then. Um, see? And there are sounds that we hear. You know, I'm getting chills now. It's fun. Thank you. So when we hear sounds that don't sound all light and airy-fairy and things like spacemen coming down, but they come in a deep, deep voice and like that, well, it's just their vocal cords coming at us. So we just have to breathe into it, stay in our protection, stay grounded. Don't be when something shows up, just be aware of it and let's see where this takes us. What he was talking about, my guide, what he was talking about, he goes, so let's talk about being fearful. When you see a spaceship drop down, like the day the Earth stood still, that spaceship just dropped down, everybody freaked out. Are you going to freak out when you see this spaceship dropping down? And I'm saying, nah, I'm not going to freak out. Now, what if the spaceship comes out and instead of the ramp, it comes out with a big cylinder tube like a cannon pointed right at you? And I'm like, yeah, well, I don't know. That may concern me. And then what if a mist shot out? I'd go, okay, that may really freak me out. And so he goes, that mist is a cleansing crystalline mist that is going to protect you to go up into space. And I went, oh, well, I don't need to be afraid of that. So the other thing he was talking about that we were chit-chatting about was as he puts that crystalline mist fog around us, some of us are going to develop wings, some of us will grow fins and maybe swim under the water. Some of us will be bipedal or maybe quadrupeds, have different appendages. Just go with it. Go along with what this is, with where we go with this. So, I want to, before we jump into opening up sacred space on this, and a lot of times I like to chat, and maybe it's a little too much, but so that we can let go of the 3D world, let go of all of the things that have been gnawing at us. Today was like a really frustrating day for me. I've got people that say they're going to do certain jobs and they do it, but it's totally wrong. It's totally backwards. And I'm like, I can really be frustrated with this. I can feel like it's a cannon pointed right at me, or I'm going to protect myself in that mist. And that's what I'm choosing to do. Bring that mist and walk through the ethers. Okay, another screen share that I thought, this came up today, and I thought it was something that I should pay attention to. Can I screen share, please? Please help me out. Share. So there we go. This is from the Osho Zen Tarot. And this deck was gifted to me. Another thing that was, I saw it on somebody's channel and I went, what a cool deck. I think I need to get that deck. And then it came in the mail. What this card says about existence, and this is the first card in this deck, right after the Fool card. It says, this naked figure sits on the lotus leaf of perfection, gazing at the beauty of the night sky. She knows that home is not a physical place in the outside world, but an inner quality of relaxation and acceptance. The stars, the rocks, the trees, the flowers, the fish and the birds, all are brothers and sisters to this dance of life. We human beings tend to forget this. We pursue our own private agendas, and we believe we must fight to get what we need. But ultimately, our sense of separateness is just an illusion, manufactured by the narrow preoccupations of the mind. So now's the time to look at whether you are allowing yourself to receive this extraordinary gift of feeling at home wherever you are. If, on the other hand, you've been feeling like this world is out to get you, it's time to take a break, go outside, take a look at the stars. So, let's open up sacred space. Let's stop sharing. Okay. I thought that card was just so perfect for what we were doing today. Stepping out and just finding the perfection in ourselves, in our inner beauty. So let's go ahead and open up sacred space. Take a couple of deep breaths. And after we open up sacred space, we're going to go into the journey. So we take a couple of slow, deep breaths, and we forget that our breaths that we take with intention keep us out of the fight and flight mode. So as we find ourselves in the center of the medicine wheel, and we turn around and we look at the north, the south, the east, and the west, we think that is our direction, that is our compass rose. And we remember Mother Earth and all that she has given us, the grounding. And from above we see the star nations coming down and blending with us, our physicality here on this earth, to complete the medicine wheel. And we face the south and we call on the spirit of eagle. Be with us. Take us to heights that we only dreamed possible. And as we imagine ourselves flying with eagle, we soar around to the south, to the physical, to the energies of jaguar, snake, and coyote. Each one of those has a special purpose for us. Jaguar, so we can see through the trees, into the dark, not wasting any energy for things that don't need to be wasted on. The snake, as we shed things that no longer serve us, as we stay close to Mother Earth, and to the coyote, the energies of coyote, to remind us to play, to have fun. As we take this physical life, shed what doesn't work, stand in our strength of jaguar. They move us to the west, to the waters of bear, to the waters of cosmic whale, and beautiful shell woman. And here we are cleansed, we are healed, and we look forward to the next journey on the wheel, to White Buffalo Calf Woman of the North, the winds of the North. And we ask that she show us the sacred path, how to hold that sacred pipe with reverence, with honor. And we thank Mother Earth for allowing us to be part of this existence. We invite the hidden folk to come out. If they are our guides, we invite the angels from above, the star nations, the star beings. We drop down, we look up, and sacred space is open, and we call on the spirits. We call on our guides, our angels, our master teachers, Jeshua, Saint Germain, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. We call on our individual guides that give us advice. And we bring in only the light of the light. And we take another deep breath, and we feel ourselves rising in our mind's eye out of our chairs and using our imaginations, playing like coyote. We walk out of our rooms and into the familiar cloakroom. And here we see all of our robes that we can put on. And there is one that's calling us so that we can go to the founders, to our Creator. And the intention is to ask, to remind us of the contract that we signed for this Earth School. Or is it, how can I be better on this Earth School from a star perspective? What star qualities am I forgetting I had? There are many questions you can ask. When we go into this journey and we forget the intention, just bring it back gently with a gentle reminder of what you want. And sometimes it's just a feeling. And we look over the robes and we know which one is for us. We slip it on. Pay attention to what it feels like. What's it made out of? And you check the pocket of your robe to make sure that you bring something from Earth to your star being relative, guide. And we walk out of the cloakroom and we find ourselves on a path. And it's a path made out of stars. And we are in the middle of a galaxy. And we see a tube of light down this path. And this tube opens up to us. Pay attention to how you feel when you go in this tube. Is there anyone else in there? Do they offer you any kind of safety gear? Goggles, helmets, vision things, seasick medicine, space sick medicine. And we settle into this tube as we get acclimated. And in this tube we see a number of buttons, and maybe we just know they are there. And these buttons have different galactic awarenesses. The Arcturian awareness, the Lemurian awareness, the Orion awareness, Orion light, the Andromeda, so many. And your hand instinctively goes out and touches that button. And you feel a shift. And as you go up sideways, you find yourself moving through a sea of stars. There are gases that you flow through, like swimming through oceans, around nebulas, through nebulas. And you find yourself at a planet. And you find yourself on the planet. How does the planet look? Are there plants? Is it barren? Find an image and go with it. And as we explore this planet, we find a cave. And as we enter the cave, pay attention to what's around. But there is your star brother or sister. It's your twin. The one that will take over for you if it gets too hard on Earth School, if you choose. Your twin remembers the contract. I'll be quiet while you enjoy your time reminiscing with your twin, catching up on old times and the new times. try to remember a past time or future time where the roles were reversed, where your twin was on planet and you were off planet, helping from above. Let your imagination go, play, dance. And as you switch roles again, ask him, your twin, ask her, what is it that you are forgetting while on this earth school? Is there something that I should be doing? Is there something I should not be doing? Where is the focus that does not serve? And where should the focus be to serve? And our twin invites us to come back anytime. And you reach into your pocket and you give your twin an earth gift. And she, he, them gives you a space gift. And you say goodbyes. Pay attention to how you say goodbye. Do you hug? Is it a normal earth hug, or maybe it's interlocking of pinky fingers? Do they even have pinky fingers? And now it's time to say goodbye. We come out of the cave. What's it look like now on this world? Is the sun in the sky? Is it nighttime? Is it just one sun? And you find your way back to the beam of light. Reluctantly, it gently pulls you in, and back you go. And you find yourself back on the path. Back in the cloakroom, where you slip off your space star robe. Make sure you grab your gift from the pocket if you put it there. And you find your egos a little lighter, brighter, and you slip back into the 3D world. And you find yourself back at your chairs. You're back at home. You slowly come back, wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Slowly come back, and if you need some time to write things down, please do. Okay, slowly come on back if you want to. If you don't want to, that's okay. You can continue writing. I forgot to use my sound bowl. We're going to have to start all over again. I was working on it. Those are the space engines firing up. Okay, now I used it, so we're all good. Right. Anybody have anything that they want to share? Judy. Hey, Judy. Hello, Judy. Ask to unmute.
I have a question. What is light language?
What is, oh God, oh my gosh. You're going to make me do this. And I am such a snarky human being because I remember speaking to somebody in this group, and I'm not going to mention their name, Aisha, and we talked about light language, and I'm going, that's just goofy. That is just weirdness. And she goes, and she kind of gently steered me on the correct path of humility. So light language, there's a couple of people who do this on YouTube. Who is the one? So you have JJ, she does it. And it's interesting how she does it because that kind of works in with my evolution of it. And then there's another one that Wendy, that does the Palladian, channels the Palladians. And all of these channeling groups, they start out by doing these noises and things to get them into their space. And I don't know if I have like a definition of what it is. There was, I had this woman in Australia. She did a Palladian activation, and it was all light language. And okay, so this is how I perceive it, if I can get into it. So just hang on 1 second, because this is scary. Quit looking at me, y'all. Stop looking at me. Okay.
I got my eyes closed.
Yeah, everybody close their eyes. ina ushkamana oshala yahuya na yak ishna ana afuna kwika samana laka ashaha. That is what light language is for me. And when I do it at different times, it'll bring in different energies. So some will be very Native American sounding, others will be kind of galactic sounding, and then I go from that energy frequency that just shifts everything in me, and I can't think about anything except, and it just kind of spills out what you get. So thank you for pushing me, Judy. I won't forget it.
Well, what's interesting to me is I kind of wondered because anyway, I spent time in a spirit-filled church and I got a spirit language that, but when I hear you talk your light language, you just go, they never leave us behind, even if you're in the craziest friggin' place you've ever been, right? I mean, very religious. I mean, I know you talk about your Catholicism and stuff, and yet I did not use that language for years. I've been gone from that church 20 years. And a month ago, well, no, when was the last No Kings rally? Whenever that was, I'm standing on the friggin' street corner with my sign where it says peace is better than war, or whatever I had. And that language rolled out of me loud. I knew that something was going on. But I mean, I just sit there, whatever. They might think I'm friggin' nuts. It doesn't matter. But I mean, and that's the first time in 20 years.
Yeah.
And so
there's things
interesting.
Yeah, there's things that I find that really pulled me away from the teachings of Jesus and Mary, because it was dominated through the patriarchy, and it was so controlling. But there's a lot of amazing qualities with that. You just have to take which ones serve and which ones don't. So yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I thought, and I deeply appreciate you going into it, because that releases me to just be free with it.
As long as you're standing on the street corner, you can do that.
People start throwing money at me.
Maybe.
Go to the mental hospital, girlfriend.
There you go. Hey, Joanne. Thank you, Judy.
Hello.
Hello.
So that makes me wonder, because I also belonged to a Pentecostal Catholic group when I was a teenager. And is that the same? Is speaking in tongues the same as light language? And do you know what you're saying when you're done?
I don't know, and I don't know I don't have any answers to your questions. I don't know. I don't know if it's Pentecostal. I have no, it sounds like it. Sounds like speaking in tongues.
I just wonder if they had a different take on what it actually was. I mean, it's all spirit anyway.
Yeah, it's all spirit.
Right?
And for me, when I first started doing it, not like Judy on a street corner, but when I first started doing it in the privacy where nobody could hear me, it felt really galactic. So I'm like, okay, so it's setting that frequency.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, Danielle.
Hi. So I have heard quite a few different people do light language. I do agree, Danny, that, when you first hear it, it sounds like gibberish. I think when people do it, they tend to repeat the same sounds themselves over and over, and it doesn't sound like anybody else's same sounds.
Yeah.
But As much as I don't know what they're saying, or I don't know that they know what they're saying, I can't disagree that I get chills all over my body when I hear it.
Yeah.
So there's something, and I know that there are people who have throat chakras that are very activating. So it may not be so important what they're saying as much as it is that they're toning,
Yeah, yeah,
and
toning.
they're giving you activation through these tones and vibrations.
Right, right, right.
So anyways, I just wanted, that's
Thank
kind of,
you.
I've been contemplating these things myself for a long time, going, well, this just sounds like gibberish, and that girl just keeps saying the same sound over and over, you know, like.
Yeah, yeah. The thing too, there's somebody else that does this, Viviani, and she has this guy on, I can't remember, who does healings on YouTube. I can't remember his name, but from England or Ireland. But the I had something I wanted to say that I can't remember what it was. Anyway, something about yeah, I can't remember. I went off on another track. Okay. Okay. So, want to throw some cards? Do quick cards for anybody that had a question on that journey. And boy, I'm getting called to use these cards. New cards that this is the Fifth Element deck. And so it's got the 4 suits of wands, swords, cups, and pentacles, and then it adds the 5th one of ether. So out there. So that's good. So anybody have a question, or should I just go, did you think about this on the journey? I could do that, or if you have a question. Danielle, we'll start with you since you're up at the top.
About what?
Do you have a question for the cards?
Well, do you want to pull cards for the whole group?
Okay, that's Danielle's question. Pulling cards for the whole group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, ooh, this one flew out. And this is the 5 of shells. Release. What, just thinking back on the gift, the earth gift that you gave your twin. How many people gave shells? 2. Just 2? Well, we're the cool people then. Yeah. Okay. So, Katie did? You did too, Katie? Okay.
I've been making turtles in resin for the last couple of days. And so that was my gift, was a turtle.
Really? Is it like this?
It's like this. I just finished this one.
Oh yeah, look at that. Very cool. Okay, so let's, so the 5 of shells, release. There is, that can go in so many different directions. So the 5 of shells is the 5 of waters, 5 of cups. This doesn't read like normal tarot, but still there is things that you can feel sad about, and there are, we can cry over those spilt shells, cups that are spilt, but there's 2 cups that are still there that we're not looking at. So we're focused on the wrong thing. And so when I hear the release, it's talking about let it go what you think should be happening. Whatever, if we have a certain way that we want to do things. Oh my gosh, I mean, for today, it's been, you know, just one release after another for me, because I go, you're not doing this the right way. And I just have to let it go, because it'll just drive me nuts. And they didn't do it the right way, just to let you know. I'm right in my way of doing things. All right, so let's do a reading for the group as we, on this particular journey. Maybe we should just stop right here. The card that I got is Enlightenment. Perfect. The 10 of Lotus. So the Lotus is the ether card. And I'll just, let me see if I can make me big. I keep trying to do this. Make the whole. Oh.
I think that we have to put you in the center stage, and then we will see you in large.
Okay. So there it is. That's the Lotus. Looks like a lot of Lemurian crystals. There's a Merkaba in the center of it. And of course, there's a wisdom pearl in the center of the Lotus. So we are getting enlightenment. The challenge from this enlightenment is the one of shells. Is that right? Yeah, one of shells, abundance. And it's interesting because I had to double take a look at this card, because that pearl could have been pentacles, could have been money, but this is emotional abundance, the one of shells. And at the base of this is the element of feathers, which is wind. And I'm always paying attention to the messages in wind and how things are blowing us around. And this is a tree on the beach where the root is firmly in the ground. So as we get blown around by the winds on the surface, we need to remember our abundance and the enlightenment. As I go through this, the enlightenment comes from the gratitude of what we have. The past, in the past, as we move forward, we got the initiate of stones. And this card, when I looked at it, I just went, oh my gosh, this is, as I look deeper into it, I can see other things with it too. But this reminds us to drop into that space that we're not alone. We just think we're alone in this space. And if I look at it closer, it looks like it is teeth, like he's in a cave with teeth. And then I could see some eyes. It could be a reptilian type thing, but it doesn't feel scary at all. So it goes back to that fear thing for me. What are we imagining that we're afraid of? And at the top of the spread, we get the 7 of feathers. And this is balance. It's interesting that they call this balance, because in the Rider-Waite, they have a spy going into camp, stealing somebody's defenses and leaving them with only a few things that they can defend themselves with. But this card is talking about, even though somebody may be taking something away from us, we have to find our own balance, and we have to drop into the stillness. so I go back to the abundance card. Somebody took something away from me. Look at what we have left and balance that out. And the potential near future for where we as a group are heading from that journey to meet our twin was the 9 of Lotus, transcendence. Ooh, I like that. I like that. So,
Nice.
is somebody saying something? The Initiate of Stones card in the past, if you look at them here, and then you look at where we're going here, it's the same figure. It looks a little wiser, older, and he's surrounded by lotus. He's rising above all of that. Awesome. Okay, so let's go with immediately. We have the 10 of Feathers, solar logos. And I don't know what logos means, but I'm just going to say, let's drop into our solar plexus. Make sure that we're paying attention to that chakra region of our solar plexus. Make sure they're clean and shining and bright. And we get the Beyond card in the external position. And again, this is things flying at us fairly quick with the 4 stones. But this looks like, again, outside influences coming at us that is going to need us to be this person, not following all those meteors that are coming in. In our hopes and fears, again, we get an Initiate of Feathers, which is another new pathway that has a lot of passion to it. That can be a hope, that can be a fear. Maybe we're getting too much of that. It's like, oh my gosh, or we need some of it in our life. And the final outcome is we're moving on, the Chariot. And this fellow is holding up the Egyptian Ankh of balance. And a clarifier card to this moving on is the Shaman. Love that. And the 4 of Lotus, the crystallization. And we talked about the crystallization in the mist of when we had that, when I had that image of how we were going to go on this journey, which I wish I would have used more of that mist, going through that mist, and it's a protection of crystallization. And that's what this is talking about. And of course, the Shaman is reminding us to that we can create anything that we want to create as long as we are in right relationship with everything that is around us. Ooh, that's a good one. Thank you, Danielle. That was, yeah, I like that. Okay. Ooh. Look at all those hearts. Woohoo. Yes, Diana, I see you. I see you. I cannot hear you though. Hang on, let me get my psychic ability going.
There we go.
Oh, I'm hearing you. I'm very clear audience, so go ahead.
It worked. You turned the microphone on. No. That initiation card,
Yeah.
that's where I was on the journey. That's where I was. Only it was upside down.
Better turn it around.
Well, eventually I was.
Yeah.
When I was younger, we were talking about light language, right? And most of my life, till I was about 24 years old, I spoke very crazy, fluent, in tongues, light language. I always thought of it as light language. I always saw the Holy Spirit, like high mass on Sunday, right? And I had something very traumatic happen when I was 24, and I was profusely speaking it that night, and then I wasn't able to anymore.
Yeah.
Till just recently, this surgery that I had has brought it back to me, and it's one of the reasons why I've just been kind of quiet, because and not even saying anything when I'm in the chats watching shows, because I'm hearing it in the translation. I'm hearing your messages in the translation of it. So it's coming back, and I'm ecstatic about that.
Yeah. Yeah. And thank you for bringing that out, because that reminded me what I wanted to say with Danielle is that there was somebody that was online that was doing light language when I was just going, that's crazy talk. And it gave me the bad chills. I go, I'm not liking this at all. Something's going on. So it's super important for me anyway to make sure that we are really protected and only of the light. And so, because even when some light language comes out that is growly and gruff and maybe not, light and airy, it doesn't necessarily mean it's bad, but it's really important to have your protections, have your guides and angels, your power animals, whatever you bring in for your protections. We talked about the bands of power. I've been using those recently. So that I think that is really huge to do.
I was wondering if there was such thing as bad chills, but I have heard somebody channel dragons, and it sounded like what you're saying. It didn't give me bad chills, but
well, and so bad chills are just fears. So this was really new to me, and then I hear this guy and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like this, and I don't know if I like somebody doing energy work on me in that tone, mister. So I backed away from it a little bit, but it's as I get more and more comfortable and more protected in my own right, then I'm okay with it.
yeah, I think fear, like you just, because for me, I'm not really afraid of energies I'm not familiar with. I don't only deal with the light, so and I'm not scared of the other energies. So
Right.
for me, I don't feel that, but I do know it feels different.
Yeah. And we're all balancing things. And so there is I was looking at before where we were going to go on this journey, and I said, well, should I bring up Arcturus? Should I bring up, where we came from according to some? And that didn't get out there. But in one of my researching things that I read, they were talking about Lemuria and how wonderful and how peaceful and how it was just this. It was a place that we would consider a vacation place where everything was perfect. The food was great. The water was warm. Whales would come talk to you, and dolphins. And there was nothing, it was just all bliss. And then some people wanted to have a little bit of contrast in that because they thought it was too nice and too this. And so then it went into my balancing energies out. So we're all balancing energies right now of good and bad. And it makes it interesting if we get out of the fear of it. That's what I'm discovering. Until that fear hits me with a hammer, then I'm like, I should have paid attention. Okay, Judy, hey.
So my son and daughter-in-law took me to the movies for Mother's Day, and we saw Project.
Oh, and happy Mother's Day late, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day late.
And we went and saw Project Hail Mary. Have any of y'all seen that one?
Heard
you
about
didn't like it. I loved it.
That was the thumbs up Rocky does.
Oh, Rocky did that. Yeah, right. And the thing is, on that one card, if you ever go see it, Danny, that there was, I don't know which of the cards was in the spread. It looked like Rocky's face. It was so cool. And it was the rock card. It was stone something.
And he was the initiate. He was sitting in a cave.
Yeah. But it struck me because, it's a lot of us think, oh yeah, I want to be there for the first time. Yeah. Anyway, but and that whole thing, when you really think about what might come forward as alien or whatever, I was telling my son, it may not look anything like humans or anything else, and that was what was so great about Rocky. I remember that. Because that guy's and this is also in the spiritual realm. I am connecting this to that because the guy's first reaction was, oh my God, like that. And I think when things are so out of your own sphere of experience, that kind of is your first reaction in a fleshly place. But then you don't have to respond, you don't have to let it go.
Right.
On and on.
Do you think I got two things to say, and I should write one of them down so I don't forget. Do you think that we on this Earth school are being so bombarded with fear that we're going to accept maybe some scary looking thing easier? I don't know. That just came to us. Anyway, let me go back to light language and not knowing what it is. I find that if you sit with it and just find a way that you can get your mind to accept it and sit with it, and you'll probably be able to get to understand it. Just as if you're looking at petroglyphs or any other kind of scribe, if you just sit with it and let your imagination go, then I think, you'll be able to come up with the story. That's what that petroglyphs thing. That's what I wanted to say.
And maybe the story isn't as important as just what happens energetically. I mean, beyond us. I've been shown many times like that day when I stood on the street corner, which even though, that's not my typical thing to do, I spent time in the way I connect, through journaling, they go, pebble in a pond, baby, pebble in a pond. Don't doubt it. It's real. And I think that's the thing that I've been walking through in the last couple of months was everything we're doing is very real, even though sometimes we get so caught up in listening to so many people say it, you think it's just talk. I mean, this is me. I'm not speaking for anybody else, but no. And so I constantly, the last month or so, just felt we're just so on the precipice of seeing it for real. I mean, whatever. And yeah. And I think it's also very interesting that other people in this group have had that experience of speaking in a spirit tongue years and years ago, and now it's coming forward
And
again.
now it's coming
It makes
out.
me
That's
feel all
interesting.
connected to all you guys, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it just somehow, you know, through you, Danny, which I just bumped into you. This has not been the area of whatever, and yet that 7:30 prayer more than once. It's just like, this is where I belong. This is the journey. These are the people to do this journey with, you know. And I don't, and I mean it. I mean, it comes through so many times in conversations with spirit for me. So anyway, but yeah,
I wonder too, you know, if I'm blowing up this idea of something big is coming. I feel it. We all feel that we're moving towards something, and I want to tamper my expectations in some way, and then I go, is that the right thing? Should I not, or should I just come on, bring it on, Aisha?
I'd like to kind of respond to that.
Please.
My journey was honestly very simple. It wasn't like a lot of times when I do journeys with you, I have all these, you know, mind-blowing sort of wild stuff. And this one was super simple. My twin was just like, remember to have fun, express joy. And she gave me, at first I thought it was a sword, but then it was a wand. And I don't know if there's a lot of difference actually. You know, it's this, and the idea was to just hold it in front of me as a symbol of alignment, you know, no matter what situation shows up. And so I'm offering that as sort of a counter to all the wild stuff and the stuff that's going to happen and the weird looking aliens and what is light language and all that, and just sort of bring it into, for me, what I've been experiencing in the last month or so is a literal feeling like I've shifted to a new timeline. So this coming event or whatever feels like it's happened for me in the sense that I find myself getting triggered less.
Yes.
Floating through situations more.
And yet you look the
the
same.
simplicity of it, the bigness of it, but also the simplicity of just expressing joy and being in coherence. Yeah.
That's beautiful, because that's where I was trying to go to, because we are thinking, oh, something big's coming, contact is going to come. Contact, a lot of it is within our mind's eye as well.
It's within us. The contact is within us.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so I love the simplicity thing of it, and I love I didn't get a sword to align myself with. I want one of those. I love that image.
Are we comparing journeys? Oh,
yeah. Her journey was better than mine.
And here I thought mine was like not a big deal.
Yeah. I just love that image, and I just see you in your light body holding that sword, and I hope you don't mind, but I added little gems on it, so it's like chakra feather or something.
Oh,
but
nice.
it's this sword that you hold up that's just, when you get a little sideways, it just whoop, and keeps you right back in there. It's like this sword of power. It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that simplistic thing. That was so good. Thank you. All right. Anybody else want to? David, hello. Got it.
I have to build on that, if I may.
Yes.
In the sense that my twin said, that when you look back over your life, you can see all these key points that influence where you are today. And that the role of the twin is just to give you a little tweak sometime to help you stay on the journey.
Yeah.
And if you look at your life like the flow, going with the flow, what you're doing is you're using the paddle just to keep in the current, to keep balanced. What was the key thing of the sword is keeping you balanced. And in the image that I had, it was the paddle keeping you balanced in the current as you're taking a canoe down the river. But he said, the key thing is you always have a chance to make a decision of where you're going to pull over to rest, to have some peace and quiet.
Yeah.
And that's part of the journey. And as long as you just go with that, you're going to be going where you need and want to go.
Yeah. So your planet had a river?
Oh yeah, the planet I went to, the colors were I don't know, purple, fuchsia, and green. It was just such a rich sort of
wanted a river on my planet.
rich plant life, a lot of purple plants, and very rich. Yep, with rivers. Rivers.
Wow. So okay, so I'm going to say what my world was, my planet. It was very barren. There wasn't a lot in it, but when I went into the cave, it exploded with color.
Ooh.
So that was where I got all my colors and stuff. But it was interesting. It was like a red planet. So it was good. Yeah, cool. I love that image of going down the river and just pulling off on a little sandy beach. Great. Go and pick some passion fruit or fuchsia fruit from the trees. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diana. No talking, just show us pictures.
I could do that. Upside down world, the guy, it was crazy. It was crazy. But I wanted to say, it's been a long time since there's been cloaking clouds here over my area. And today I was very excited that you chose Galactic and the song playing when we started. That was awesome. I hadn't heard that in ages.
Yeah.
And so when I took the dogs to get out for a walk, and there were, when you get 20 clouds that all look the same, black flat bottomed and huge, and they're not moving, and it's a windy day, and they're just standing there in the sky. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. You're back. I'm so glad to see you. We need protection. I'm glad you're here. And then you bring us here to this. So shouldn't have been surprised.
Yeah, no.
And I was given my twin gave me a box of Snaps. Anybody old enough to remember that candy? Oh my gosh, I loved them. The colors are like what you were talking about, David. And it's a hollow licorice that is rock hard. And they're just little pieces, like little beads. And if you bite into them, they snap. But you can't bite into them until you've sucked on them for 20 minutes because they have to get warm and wet. And they look like zinnias growing, they get that color to them, because of the black licorice being underneath the candy, the hard candy. Anyways. Katie, your background is wonderful.
Yeah.
You. That's where I live. Tucson.
In the Fuchsia Mountains.
Yeah, with big
David.
puffy fluffy clouds in the summertime.
Yeah.
And all kind of colors.
That's great. Yeah.
Right now, though today it was 104. Not so great.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm going to go hang out in my soaker tub here as soon as it gets dark. And so it's perfect. Great place to process.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Ernie, thank you.
Yeah. All right. So, it's almost 6. And since I said that I would do readings on the journey, and we did a group one, but if anybody, and I don't even want to know the question, but if they had a question on the journey that they go, I'm not sure what that meant, I'll throw 3 cards on it. Otherwise, we'll say adieu. Anybody? All right. I guess that's it. I'm going to throw 3 cards anyway to leave with. The Galactic Heritage deck. Yeah. What? Oh, I don't know what Judy was doing. Oh, was that from the movie?
That's Rocky, and he, instead of thumbs up, he always did that. And Suzanne, was it you that reminded me, Suzanne, that saw the movie? Anyway, somebody here, Danielle saw the movie, and she goes, yeah, that was Rocky's thumbs up. It's just so great.
All right. 3 cards. What do we need to know as we leave? Nothing. Don't need to know anything. We got it. We already know it. We are, I don't know if you can see this, we are returning the favor. So it's interesting that I pulled up the twin because I wasn't planning, I didn't even have that in my mind to do that. But when the twin showed up, it's kind of like we've done this over and over again. So we're just returning the favor. We're here. We're just returning it. We're into a new paradigm. Yes, we are. This is this deck is set up as past, present, future, which is more along the lines of infant, adult, and wisdom elder, and then the parallel time stream is it kind of fits in anywhere. And this is all coming from source energy, separating to do your own thing to get back to source. And so we've done this before. We're returning the favor. We're feeling that new paradigm shift of lightness, of awareness, the 105. And there's only 108 cards in this deck. So it's, we're going back home. And as Aisha said, we're being less triggered by things. I keep looking at those meteorites in that one card coming at us, and I go, it doesn't bother me. It should, because there's 4 meteorites coming at me, but I don't think it's a big deal. People are saying that California is going to go into the Pacific, and I'm like, I got a boat. So I'm okay, right? So it feels like this lightness of awareness that's the new shift that we're experiencing. And because other people are not feeling that lightness, and they're getting triggered, and getting so angry at so much stuff. So I'm gonna steal the metaphor of Aisha's sword, keeping us lined up, keeping our light bodies lined up. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Real quick before we go, I just want to close Sacred Space. I want to thank all our guides and angels for being with us. I want to thank the winds of the east, south, west, and north. Mother Earth, thank you so much for allowing us to dance on this planet that you bring forth, and sorry we take too much. And to our star brethren and sisters, thank you for showing us how to be light beings. And this sacred space is now closed. Woohoo! Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Danny.
Thank you, everybody.
you,
Good
Danny.
seeing y'all.
You
Thank you,
rejuvenate
Danny.
hope.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank
Danny.
You're
you.
welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody who
Thanks.
shared.
Good to hear from everybody.
Yes, and
Bye.